the only thing more ridiculous than the fact that the Waqf bill is going to be tabled inside a parliament building that is adjudged by Waqf to be on its land is the fact that a 1500-year-old Hindu temple in Tamil Nadu has been adjudged by Waqf to be on Islamic land when Islam is only 1300 years old. But then we are way past ridiculous now. The BJP, has to be said, has neatly fallen into the trap of trying to convince people that Waqf bill is not against Muslims. Are bhai, when the issue is that the Waqf bill is against non-Muslims. But then we are way past, as I said, ridiculous, Rahul, and deep into the sublime. Because we are supposed to be living in a fascist Hindu Rashtra. Indeed, a Hindu Rashtra where 500,000 Hindus are forced to be refugees in their own land, where Hindu temples are exclusively controlled by the state, where Right to Education Act discriminates only against Hindus, where those who perpetrated Hindu genocides are celebrated, where the constitution enacts code bills to reform only Hinduism, where a law was about to be enacted where only the Hindus would have been held guilty in a communal riot, where an act continues to deny the Hindus their legitimate right to reclaim thousands of demolished temples. If this is a Hindu Rashtra, honestly, I'd much rather be in a Muslim Rashtra, because then at least there'll be no pretense of equality. A kafir will get what he deserves. Vive la Sharia. Look, I as a Hindu, I'm being very honest out here. I'm resigned to this discrimination continuing, because the blowback from the Islamists is such that this government is perennially guilt-tripped into believing that Muslims and not Hindus are being shortchanged. Therefore, the only other recourse is for me to ask such discriminatory acts being promulgated for Hindus as well. If you can't remove discrimination against Hindus, reward them with it. To start with, in the form of a Sanatan Act, the exact clause for clause replica of the Waqf Act. Rahul, I have absolutely nothing against the Waqf board. Why should anyone? Countless boards, charities, NGOs exist. The problem is the Waqf Act, because the world over, disputes over property are settled using courts and existing laws that are community and religion agnostic. Why should a particular religious community, the Muslim community, be armed with another set of laws, those that are patently discriminatory towards member of the other community, as a primary instrument of defense or indeed offense? Is there a Hindu equivalent of the Waqf Act? Promulgate one in the interest of equality. Let those who want continuation of the Waqf Act watch as Hindus then lay claim to thousands of mosques and Muslim villages and enjoy the privilege of disputes being addressed primarily not through the courts but via the clauses and strictures of the Hindu equivalent of the Waqf Act. Because the fact is, every mosque in India is built on Sanatan land, including Jama Masjid. So tomorrow, if a Hindu board armed through the Waqf equivalent Sanatan Act claims Jama Masjid, how would Muslims feel if they have to first plead their case in front of a Sanatan tribunal rather than approach a court? Maza aayega? Look, just 30 seconds. Amending the Waqf Act is akin to chopping the head of a hydra, because while you might have removed a few discriminatory and draconian clauses from the Act, a vast majority of them remain untouched. Section 28, 8, 101, 54 to name a few. For example, Section 8 says the state has to pay for the Waqf survey. This is in direct violation of Article 27 of our Constitution that says no person shall be compelled to pay any taxes, the proceeds of which specifically appropriated in payment of expenses for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion. Now Waqf lays claim to 870,000 properties. Their survey is being paid by us, the taxpayer. Why? Rahul, Waqf tribunal decisions can only be, as you said, overturned by a long and financially draining legal process. They know this. Fact is, Waqf is a parallel government being run by the state. In its board, it has its own legislature. In its surveyor, its own executive. And in its tribunal, it has its own judiciary. Waqf Act doesn't just appease Muslims. The problem is it discriminates against non-Muslims.